Yo guys, welcome back to another YouTube live stream. It's me, mrjayowhy. I hope you're having a awesome day. How are we doing? Alright, so take a quick look at the item shop. Heatwave, the high stakes summer bundle still in here. We also got a new skin, haven't we? Oh yeah, Excalibur. Is this new? I have no idea. Cool, I suppose. Samurai Jack. Jolly July. What? Anyway, who's first in? Octane, how's it going? Ultra, how's it going? Heath, how's it going? Prime, I have all the sprites. GG's, congratulations. That is a W. Peach, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Alright. Also, chat, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit the like button. Get these likes up, shall we? Turn that onto Fortnite. There we go. Alright, let me just notify Discord, and we shall be ready to go with this stream. And there we go. France v Spain tomorrow? Yes, indeed. And then England, Argentina, Wednesday. You're in Ibiza right now? Damn. Nice. I did have someone give them to me now. Fair enough. When do you think the Visitor and the Origin are coming back? You mean the original Visitor and Origin? I mean, I was thinking about this yesterday a bit more, and obviously the whole thing with Chris teasing the Origin and a bit of the Visitor, I suppose, but I think he was referring to Jenna, right? But there is obviously the totems at that location towards where it is. Grove. There's like two totems here. One is the Origin, one is the Visitor. So it's obviously teasing something. Hardball Prime, but I can't turn down free beer. I mean, you can, to be fair. You can turn down free beer. If, as you say, it's poor. Some beers where you I guess you're essentially drinking tap water. No one will think of you any differently if you went no. Do you think they will be in the next Battle Pass? Not sure about next Battle Pass, but I mean, since Chris was teasing it so heavy, I expect something rather recently. I know this is random, but I wouldn't like it if the Origin was a Dark Voyager because I want him to be a Q King again. But how else do you? It's either going to be just extremely random then, right? I don't know if I like another random thing. It's got to correlate to something we're already doing, right? Which maybe it can be just random, right? Mr. Badman, how's it going? And Singularity is more likely, right? The skin's actually in the game. It just haven't either got an item shop selection or a Battle Pass selection at the moment. We just don't know what's going on there. Might have to get the shots there included as well. Shots. What's happened in our hotel last year? Proved us that the Brits can't tap beer at all. Wait, what? Oh god. Which sprite has he got? And if our singularity is getting a save style helmet, so is Sloan on Thursday. Well, both of them. I know Sloan is, but I didn't know Singularity was. Oh yeah, it's Mystery Monday! I'm very well, thank you. Right, got myself an AR. Might come in handy. What gun don't you want to get off spawn? That's the question. Actually, is it maybe an AR? Yeah, but actually, with how weak shotguns are at the moment, you might just want an AR or a pistol, don't you? SMG. Okay, well, no, sniper's the worst one to get. You need to lock in for that. Lock in. Make sure my plane got a support. Okay, fair enough. I need Joe to wake so I can get the legend skin. I guess. Okay, half pot for now. We'll actually take the half pot and do. So how long are you in no beef then? Probably a 7-day thing. Okay, up there, please. Thank you. Why not? Apparently England has temporary ownership. Oh yeah, I did hear about her beat Japan takes to Hatsune Miku or something. Was that it? So bored right now. Started to hear that. Oh. Faked out, faked him out, faked out. Oh my god. Oh, geez. Okay, well that's cool. Oh. What? Talk about the final reality. You mean the Chris trees? I can't have said, well, that's a community video. Talk about the final reality and the possible return of the origin. The final reality is the last reality. That's about it. The origin. How many times I got to press this? The origin. I mean, obviously we have the totem at Golden Grove, and that's about it. Bit of a silly teaser if you think about it. Okay, sure. Nate, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Where are your parents? If the last reality came to our world, how long would we survive? What? With the real world? Well, it depends what their idea is, right? Sonic was solo Voyager in the event, trust. Yeah, of course. Dino Super and Octane will reach his final frontier. What the hell does that mean? Oh, the Voyager. Okay, there's a bit of a difference between the Dark Voyager and Octane. Would you think? Don't you think? Didn't know. Oh, okay, what the hell? More of an SMG. Oh god, there's just loads of SMGs. Guess we can take this. Shotgun anywhere? No. These minis over here. Scientifically accurate Pokemon. Can I have a shotgun, or is that too much to ask? Okay, and we have ourselves a shotgun. Oh, okay, that would do for now, I suppose. Right, off we go. If you don't know what I mean, I'm talking about the post from Chris about the final reality. I don't know what you mean. I just don't know what more to say about it. We've got the origin totem at Golden Grove. The last reality rumored to have done this, done that, but it's how does Jenna work into that, right? Honestly, it's a bit of an annoying teaser, really. Well, what does everyone else think? Be honest, now I've got to wait for the foundation and air sprites. So I always type stuff wrong in streams. I get you. I'm a bit like that sometimes. I'll try and write something and they quickly move on to the next conversation. I'm just like, a British Minecraft king to return. Who's that? Oh, great. Hey Jay, did you see my community post about Jenna could be the nothing? There's been a few posts like that. Couple posts saying Jenna could be the nothing, which I ultimately think is. I get it. I get why you think that, but God, it just makes Jeno. It does make him a silly character. Honestly, hate Jeno being nothing. Same, really. Just. Oh my God, so much for legendary items. Chat, thanks to the 5 likes. The what is here? Hello. I just think it's strange how the 7. What do you mean the 7? Of course, the 7 are still useful to him. I mean, he means. I guess he could mean the old 7, but it's unlikely. He means the 7 how they are now. And him playing being the visitor. That's how the 7. The lie is still useful to him. I just don't think he meant it as that's what you're saying. He didn't meant it. He didn't mean it as D7, as the original 7. Because, you know, he's got Sloan and Singularity and order around his finger, essentially, and he's just playing a game. So what? What the hell? What season would you think the Origin will come back in? Corrupted or normal? Again, we're getting like, I'm struggling to really work out what Geno's like main objective is here, right? And it's based on a few things, right? It's either you perceive him as one thing or the other. You know, if you see Jeno as the nothing, then that's fair, but I just really don't think that's the case, right? We're at this point where I just don't want to look at it until we get answers, right? It's just stupid otherwise. Like, we got to at least work out first why Geno wants, you know, now. Why is now the thing, right? We've got to work that out before we work out when there's nothing in the last reality and if the Chrome 7 are returning. Well, the Origin returns with Forge, but he's still himself because he escaped just in time. Nah. While for the Foundation and the Order, I can understand why it was a bit, you know. Oh, didn't they get taken because they were they faked it and we didn't see them? You can believe that, right? You can't for the other characters, and it will just, I don't know. It's a bit of a slap in the face, I think. They don't share the agent though, because I feel like the visitor's got a voice actor now, and that has to now be the same voice actor, and they would change the agent's voice actor unless they do have different voices, right? I guess. They've already been changed in Chapter 4, so how will they escape? Oh, even if they do escape, they shouldn't be escaping, right? It's just a bit. That's a narrative they can get away with doing. Like, why would they not go in that direction? Why would they not do the Chrome 7? Why would they not? Could the nothing be Peely? Probably not. Could he be an informant? Maybe, but... He had that much HP as well. That's unfortunate. Chrome 7 seems so cool to me. I've been thinking about it for years, and I swear they just drop it, bro. I just can't see them dropping it, right? And if they do drop it, like, why wouldn't they? You know, we can stop this silly thing about, oh, do you know what? When Donald Mustard left, right, he took the rights to the 7, so they can't use them anymore. People are actually saying that? Yes. How many times I absolutely lost my mind trying to, like, guys, come on, no. I remember I used to say, chat, some of you are artists, yeah? If you think you're going to work for a company and they want you to do art and you own art, you're very going to be highly mistaken. You're going to find out the hard way that is not the case. Oh, people will deny it now. People, oh, no, that was not the case, Jay. No one ever said that. Yes, every day. Worse. Amy is evil, as I've heard that would back up the theory that Geno being nothing. Well, no, it would back up. Well, yes, but it could also back up that the fact that maybe Geno is maybe the nothing is offering Geno something, right? But you're right. It is a little weird now. Amy went through, right? All her fragments came back changed, but she comes back unchanged. Doesn't really make any sense. But then I don't really like the prospect of Geno being a bit of a piece for the nothing, I suppose. Charlotte, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. That could work also, Jenna working for nothing. I mean, I feel like it's probably a little more likely in him being the nothing, but both are somewhat plausible. If you want the extraction point, don't shoot at me. I wasn't even aware of you. I'm doing very well. How are you? What the hell are you doing? Oh, I didn't. I didn't. Well, fair enough. Jay, I have a theory. What if we save the visitor and scientist? Oh, let me try that again. Do you have a theory? What if we save the visitor and scientist in chapter 7 somehow, and the origin being saved in chapter 8? I don't know where that comes from though. You kind of plucking it out of thin air. It's like at the moment we're in this situation where we've got to do the whole stabilizer thing. Nothing like what Chris mentioned is just being plucked out the air essentially. Like unless I'm really like missing something. I mean, apart from the totems, the trees on the Golden Grove, there isn't really much to say about what do you call it? The origin. Do I stream daily? I've got a schedule out at the moment. I can read it out. So from I'm still on the old schedule. What am I doing? In messages. Near enough every day. Sundays and Wednesdays I normally have off. Tomorrow I'm streaming twice actually. A morning stream and an evening stream. Do you have any plans to add custom assets like logo or banner overlays? Not at the moment, mate. I'm fine. How are we saving them? Have you seen the last reality? They're kind of correct. And the visitor and the scientist will get reforged suits. Same with the origin. We will get but the origin's reforged suit is similar but upgraded to the old one. Hello Ethan, how's it going? That was a bit of a nothing game last game. We kind of did a few things, had a conversation. I was so distracted in that game. I was kind of like, I was not really doing anything in that game. I think I was reading chat, but I was like focusing on the game, but also then not focusing on the game because I was focusing on chat. I've never been so 50-50 in my life during a game, and that was so I was really not even into anything there. Charlotte, I'm fine. Thank you. The origin would be so mad. Why? Good. Why do I get 5 ads when I load into the stream? Because I need money. So YouTube plays ads and then YouTube pays me. Chat, thanks for the 9 likes. I appreciate the support. But I don't know why you're getting back to the actual. I don't know why you're getting 5 ads. 2 or 3 is normal, but that's quite insane, right? Quite an insane number. Oh my god, I'm dead! my god, I can throw some shotguns! Well, that makes sense. Oh, he doesn't think the ice cream is coming back. Anyone thinks the ice cream coming back? No? Ice King. I need to see the Q cradle again. Like the real one. But if you do think about Geno, it's been him all along controlling the simulation. But if you do think about it, Geno, it's been him all along controlling the simulation. But depending where you take the story, you either completely collapsing the last reality story or condensing it down, or you're vice versa and you're doing it to Geno, right? If you make it that Geno somehow orchestrated the last reality to be like this fake villain for everyone so he can do what he wants to do, or vice versa, where Geno operates with it in the last reality's army and is sort of a prop. Either way you look at it at the moment, you're dismissing, you're kind of destroying someone's, okay, probably headcanon, but I don't think it really is headcanon, because there's enough to go on that the last reality a separate entity, right? They have every Chrome 7 member that could return, which one would I only want to see return if I could select one? I think you're saying scientists. So if the Origin really wants to get revenge, he would, once they get out on Geno. What? Why? Well, then you're presuming that him getting Chrome was because of Geno and not the last reality. Don't you feel like you're completely destroying the last reality by having that? Trying to word this properly. Aren't you kind of destroying the last reality by making him a bit time player? But Geno, no. Because you're not the only one, right? A load of people are having this conversation, right? I just don't see how you do it either way without spitting and stepping on one character, right? If we have one, yeah, but it shouldn't come at the cost of destroying the last reality. That would be ridiculous, no? Unless my point is just not getting across, right? I suppose. Wow, that was a waste. It would make sense. He is destroying, deceiving the 7 from inside out. From what? Sorry, from what point though? From the point that he's the last reality, or from the point that he's just the visitor? Last reality had been my favorite, so if it turns out to be Geno's controlling it, do what he wants, I'd be really disappointed. Would be stupid too. What the hell?
I'm having trouble with my visions. Can you help me investigate?
Well, it depends again how you interpret the language. Like, I still think it was just to point out Sloan, right? Or and be used as some sort of thing to work back in later. Well, the origin comes back.
I see it now. I have to go look into a few things. Thanks, Looper.
Yeah, I know who you mean, but I always just thought it could be left open-ended to be worked back in. But at this point, it just simply meant Sloan, right? In terms of, like, why does Sloan keep put you in these situations where I've got to save you, right? But because everyone thinks it's kind of a point of interest, right, to keep going on about it, anyone doing a story could also see this and just go, well, actually, we might add a, you know, we might add a she, right? Because what if the Origin come back as the Cube King, but he have the Visitor and the Scientist corrupted as his bodyguards or something like that? I mean, yeah, that's plausible. That's more than plausible.
Watching the horizon. Surrender, and you might live.
Should listen to Voidblade. Yeah, but that origin thing is more than plausible, right? It makes sense, the teaser for the final reality and the teaser for the Visitor and the Origin and even the Scientist in the Shattered event was probably a tease. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, sorry, I see what you're saying, yeah. The teaser trailer. Yeah, I have seen a leak. Gaming Legends. Jay, would you like a chapter of us in the last reality? I always thought the last reality was kind of like a construct of, you know, an ideal rather than an actual last reality. But I didn't come across a single spot this game. Oh no, we had that softer spot with the guy we killed. Let's go and say hello to my... Wait, what happened there? Chat makes it 12 likes. W's in chat. Okay, well, if you want to be like that, mate, I'm just waiting to get out. I'll snipe you. Alright. You wanna... Oh, what? Scared now, are we? Scared now? We scared now? You shot at me. If you didn't shoot at me, we wouldn't have done this, would we? Everybody mentioned this final reality, and it sounds a lot like the last reality. I mean, the final reality is literally the last reality in some languages. It's a final reality we're going to be in, and then the Fortnite storyline just ends. Never to find out what happens. Fortnite shuts down. Raid. See, now three of you have said, Jay, with your last comment. It's pushed up the comments farther than I'm prepared to scroll back to. Well, the origin and the visitor and the scientist came back corrupted is basically saying the last reality is back to finish what they started in chapter 2. I mean, yeah. Well, the last reality is a faction, and the final reality is where they keep the corrupted 7. Maybe. It kind of works. That's probably the most terrifying theory I've seen, because we'll probably never see the last reality ever again. I was just talking about Fortnite in general, mate. I said I reckon that we will get a Chapter 3 mini-season this year called Chapter 3 Reimagined. Ow. Stop! Chat, thanks for the 13 likes. 7 away from 20. Appreciate the support on the channel. Okie dokie. Well, let's get us kegs in. Back to 200. Why is end game been really slow, right? Jump. Ooh. Oh my god. Mantle! I just could have done that the first 6 times. Red chest. Out on the balcony. Take rifts because I'm almost out of mobility. Who rifted? I guess we wait until the zone forms, I suppose. This season is depressing without the Ice King. Rip the Ice King. Currently, I suppose. This season is so good because there is no Ice King and will be the foundation. Okay. What will Hope's reaction to seeing the Q King be like? Jenna will be terrified if he's not working for the last reality. For him to return, he has to be working for the last reality. We've got to focus on whatever Jenna's doing at this point, right? King will return. Okie dokie, we're making our way to the zone. 3 people left. Oh, there's a... Is that in zone? No. But... Launch pad, so... Oh my god, someone's just been sniped. Well, that other one's in zone. What the hell was that? There's no way. Weird guy. You were in zone. Okay. Imagine getting baited out by a sprite, right? Let's go! GG's, chat. Whee! Foundation ain't a pathetic leader, he's just big-headed. You wouldn't say the same about Tony Stark. Yeah, but Tony Stark learned from his previous lessons. I don't feel like the Foundation has learned from his previous lessons. Chatting to the 16 likes. Chat, if you do buy anything in the Fortnite item shop, please consider using credit code Mr. Joy. How do you find out about the new Star Wars game modes in Fortnite? Social media and online advertisement. Social media. But yeah, guys, if you do buy anything in the Fortnite item shop, like Borderlands are in, Warframe, Samurai Jack, the High Stakes Club. We've got Jolly July, because apparently it's like Christmas somewhere or something, isn't it? So, yeah. Consider buying those skins. mrjayowhy, chat. W's. Never mind what? And what if the Cube King does either kill off the Foundation or gets chromed? I don't think that's gonna happen. Or level 222? Bro, I'm like not even 100 yet. You can read my posts what through the community. Like, that will take me a while to find. So what was it? The ice cream has become one of my favorite characters. Yeah. The voice actor. The voice actor for what? Well, for the origin. Like, you signed an NDA. Of course, he ain't gonna say anything. That's not what we're talking about. Did I see Shinna's tweet post about D23? Oh, I think I did actually. About Kingdom of Hearts we announced. Is that it? I think if Guy captured him right when the Seven needed him most, and then his entire team goes missing, and I think having a personal grudge against the Ice King makes sense. But the Ice King wasn't even solely responsible for that, so you know, sometimes you gotta realize as a leader you got to lead, right? You can't be getting thingied on these, you know, getting so sucked into these stupid altercations between people, and you shouldn't be. And Foundation should have learned that with the whole 0 point thing, right? This post, the Chrome 7 aren't gone. Well, no, of course they're not. I tend to make it a point if I haven't read it. I don't normally read community posts until Sunday. Can you phrase it, chat? Alright, chat, I'm just gonna go for a break. I'll be back in a second. Yo. Right. How we doing? I'm not sure about that. Yeah, you're listening to Google's AI, by the way, as well. He definitely got absorbed, and there's every chance that the Ice King could return if someone wants him to return, right? What about Fortnite? Look, they're definitely wrong quite a considerable amount of time because they're using Fortnite Wiki's law, which is slightly biased in some aspects. Gibson will probably bring the Ice King back because he's probably going to be useful to him in the future. What? There's a point in saying Google ain't always right. Make it. Oh, that would do, that would do. Right, that orb, whatever he had, was like the Ice King's essence, right? We can't say Google ain't right without giving me evidence. Okay. I think that's just a level of naivety. Charmander? Yeah. That did not work how I thought it would. Retro did make an art of the Ice King in the Dark Voyage's body, and Retro predicted the visitor being Geno. Did he? I mean, he predicted Geno being behind everything. I don't think he predicted the visitor being Geno. I think I remember. I think I was the only one who was talking about the possibility of Geno being the visitor at the time. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know what that means, Ethan. Like, that still represents what we're trying to argue. I don't even understand the essence of how the chaos cubes operate when they're res particles, right? I mean, if he did predict that very well, but I mean, I only think he predicted it was everything. Geno was behind everything. Holy! How many goes of the? Oh, because he had that one. Oh, it's only level 2. Why did he just stand there so many times? Imagine Paul, I did 24-hour sprite reality tree sprite. Gives you rare sight on the future. Like a hope sprite. Oh, your hope sprite would be cute, so cute. Chat, thanks for 20 likes. Dark Voyager in the cell, or I'm gonna have to take your word for it. Oh, someone's still here. Right. So we try and watch Cyan's video. Look, oh, I was meant to message him. Why does he just? Oh, he needs to sort out his intros. That's one of his like massive issues. It's so pragmatic. For if you watch Cyan, then fair. But if you don't watch Cyan, he just gives you no way in. Um.
Last live event with giving Jones a silly kiss. Then we will.
Oh, this is the intro, right?
When I tell you in the title of this video that I'm gonna explode your mind, that's right, I'm gonna explode your mind! And I'm not even exaggerating right now, so get ready before it's too late. Because today we're gonna talk about the biggest, the coolest, and the greatest for the lore theories that have ever touched YouTube or the game itself. We're gonna talk about a silly man named Geno who already made your mind go kaboom in the last live event with giving Jones a silly kiss. Then revealing how he was visitor all along. But now wait a second, listen to what Jones has to say in this very moment.
Geno? It's been you all along?
Now compare that sign to what Jones was told years ago during Chapter 3 Season 2.
Yeah, in relation to him being the visitor. Been you all along?
This whole total destruction thing just doesn't feel like Sloane to me. She does whatever it takes to win, but she's not a monster.
Sloane's never been in charge. Geno. It's always been Geno.
That's right, this whole video exists to prove you how it's Geno. It's always been Geno. Right from the day he faked his death onto why we even ended up on Chapter 5, a Greek world. Then why Dr. Doom showed up out of nowhere who used to talk with the very Geno himself. How the entirety of Chapter 6 was manipulated and planned by Geno. Then finally how every single thing we have experienced in the Fortnite storyline so far is all coming together within Chapter 7 itself, to not only reveal how it's always been Geno but also finish the many years long plan of his. So this video will also reveal what exactly is this plan of Geno.
So we're just happy with just getting theories out there that just kills the last reality. How do you say that? How do you think you need the last reality out of this?
Before they know he's from the void or the last reality, he was never part of the Imagine Order. And that's why everybody in this season, in the last season or the one before it, were saying that Dark Voyager has to be a last reality member. So him working for Geno should be a really new thing that happened after the IO fell. It happened because I believe he should be the same Voyager that touched the Zero Point in the comics and was torn into pieces. Just exactly like how Geno was in the comics too. So I really think that Geno saved the Voyager, just like how he did to himself too, using that to manipulate and abuse the Voyager for
Sorry, what? Okay,
his
yeah,
personal goals, and then promised the Voyager to make him a true god, exactly what happened in the last season. So the Voyager becomes obsessed and loyal to Geno, basically betraying his actual master. Which means that yes, Geno is only abusing the Voyager, so once the time comes, he knows that the Voyager needs to die since his last reality. Exactly why Daigo tells the Voyager this line, hinting at how Geno will betray the Voyager, just like how Daigo tells
whoa.
the Voyager this line,
Oh, yeah, of
hinting
course.
at how Geno will betray the Voyager, just like how Daigo's master did in Chapter 6 to him. So exactly, yeah, why we're now seeing glitching effects be connected to Geno instead of the Nothing is because the guy has been carefully watching and learning from the Nothing, trying to create his own versions of the weapons or the powers that the Nothing has. Because there is a really popular saying of how to defeat a powerful monster, you need to make another monster. Geno is making himself into a new monster similar to the Nothing, so he actually has a chance in fighting the Nothing.
Yeah, but where is the Nothing going to come from? Like,
As that's exactly why Geno is growing into a villain himself too. Because the guy was genuinely a hero back then, protecting all of us but trying to
okay, I wouldn't say hero. I think that's a
fight and destroy the last reality is basically ruining him in the process. The only hope we have for that to stop is the love he has for his daughters, but I don't really think that's gonna work. Because for now, Geno is not really willing to give up on his imagination of a world of perfect order. So now that we know this message was sent by Geno and the Dark Voyager is the last reality member being abused and manipulated by the guy, this just makes total sense of why the message was sent in cube language. Because that's supposed to be the language that on chapter 7 map only the Voyager can understand. Jones, the Seven or Jules, any of them, if they get access to the Dark Harvester and see this message, they're gonna have no idea what this even saying.
So why do we need a, what are the last reality doing then? Because then you're presuming the Dark Presence is also... Is he not? Is he not? Hold on. Yeah, I'm just skipping through this video.
Shows how Geno is decommissioning error check protocol, the Dark Presence, proving how Geno was indeed behind how we managed to kill the Dark Presence too, because the guy was just there to show Geno how powerful a piece of the 0 points can make you, and with watching how he was soloing the entire multiverse, he was destroying the
what?
cubes, proving how Geno was carefully watching and learning from everything that happened, and power it has and what he can do, exactly why he could reforge his body through the 0 point. Then wanting to see what happens when you rip the 0 point into many pieces. Finally ending with Dark Presence, watching and learning how powerful a living creature can get if it bonds with only a piece of the 0 point. As if you look closely, the placement of the 0 point chart on Dark Presence is identical to what you now see on the Dark Voyager, except with the cubes. Proving how Geno was carefully watching and learning from everything that happened, and now he's putting it into use. So maybe just like the Dark Presence, he wants to fuse himself and become one with the 0 points. That would be really cool. It would also make him finally powerful enough to fight the Nothing as well. Then we're told how Geno is...
Sorry, but why? Why? If you're making this... So they've done nothing since... But how do you... What? How do you... Why would he want to defeat the... No? Oh, I'm so struggling to get around this sort of palaver with the fact that, so why does Geno want to destroy the Nothing when the Nothing has ultimately how are we meant to get behind that when at this point Geno is the one that we need to stop, right? Because of how, if he was... Does he say the Dark Presence was Geno? Isn't that what he said?
In chapter 6 to him. So exactly, yeah, why we're now seeing glitching effects be connected to Geno instead of the Nothing is because the guy has pens or the powers there you need to make another actually has a chance in fighting. It was genuinely a huge ruining him in the process. The only hope we have is for now there, being abused and manipulated by the guy. This just makes total sense of why the message was sent in cube language, because that's supposed to be the language that on chapter 7 map only the Voyager can understand. Jones, the Seven or Jules, any of them, if they get access to the Dark Harvester and see this message, they're gonna have no idea what this even saying, because the message is supposed to...
I don't know. Jonesy knows 380,000 languages. You would think Cube might be one of them.
To be redacted and only read by the Dark Voyager, as what's said in it makes a lot of sense now too. Training 1 complete. Geno was the guy who has been training people through the loop to become perfect and much more powerful. Total elapsed time in base reality 8 years, 9 weeks, 3 days, 9 hours and 30 minutes. This is exactly how long it's been since the release of the Battle Royale, or ever since Geno began controlling the loop of Fortnite. Total simulated time
Well, that's for our benefit, not
across all
not
iterations.
stories.
Then we got weird lines ending with the years. I don't know
Is this guy at uni?
math. I'm not a nerd. What the hell is this? This one
What's he
is
doing
speaking
at
of the
uni?
loop simulation that, as we know, multiple loops can happen at the exact
Great,
same
do you know
time,
not
which
great
is why it
now?
says total simulated time across all iterations. As the fun part begins right here, learning phase complete, meaning that in all of these 8 years, Geno was still trying to learn every single
I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, chat. I'm not against what Cyan's saying. It's very logical, right? What I don't understand is why should we be worried about the nothing when nothing has been completely cut down by this point? There is no substance to nothing at this point. If this is what you want to say, which I get,
detail about the 0
But,
point. So every
like-
single power it has and what he can do, exactly why he could reforge his body through the 0 point. Then wanting to see what happens when you rip the 0 point into many pieces. Finally ending
but so
with Dark Presence, watching and learning how powerful a living creature can get if it bonds with only a piece of the 0 point. As if you look
yeah, if this is the version of events, the last reality is just doing nothing. I've been saying this for the last few weeks. Like, I don't understand what the nothing's doing if you have to make the assumption that Geno is behind everything. I feel like the last reality needs to take a further back seat until this is done, right? Because otherwise, it's like, oh my god, it's the Cube King. Yeah, and what, why, and what, and where, why? Because Geno's a threat. The last reality has allowed Geno to become a threat. If that's the case, they were like so close. If we presume, so I still think he's presuming that Chrome was obviously the nothing, right? So then, what Geno wanted? What is he saying? Geno wanted to rip the 0 point apart. So he must have somehow got Sloane to either carry out knowingly or unknowingly and put the idea into her head, right?
closely, the placement of the 0 point chart on Dark Presence is identical. Fully watch. Maybe just like the Dark Presence, he wants to fuse himself and become enough to fight the nothing as well. Then we're told how Geno is
JT7. Thanks for the $9 sticker. W's. And for the super chat earlier. I do appreciate it. Can we get W's in chat? Can we get W's in chat? As he also dropped like $25 on the community video as well, so W's.
decommissioning error check protocol, the Dark Presence, proving how Geno was indeed behind how we managed to kill the Dark Presence too, because the guy was just there to show Geno how powerful a piece of the 0 points can make you, and with watching how it was soloing
So what is he saying?
the entire multiverse, it was this.
So what the hell was that?
The 0 points can make you, and with watching how it was soloing the entire multiverse, it was destroying Godzilla, or the monkey, or the, I don't know, Miko Miko Mi, or I don't know the other things, it was destroying.
Hello? No. Did he seriously just call wrong?
Throwing everything, so Jenna was like, damn! You know what? I gotta fuse myself with the 0 points. That's gonna go hot. God damn. So my man was satisfied and the use for Dark Presence was over. It was time to kill.
So he said, okay, so he is okay. Look, I'm not against this because I've been saying, like, okay, if Geno's behind everything, fine. But then, like, I feel like the nothing's just irrelevant. To me, to build up anything relevant to the nothing, we need another 2 to 3 years. What, we're just going to hang around with Geno being in, like, I'm worried about what the next step will be, right? I mean, obviously, we've got the whole Chris thing and Cube King, and if it turns out that Cube King, then the nothing's dead, right? The nothing is not a threat.
Him the exact same thing that's gonna happen to the Dark Voyager as well. Decommissioning Anomaly Containment Protocol. This line also confirms how the whole creation of the red cube it's being sent inside of the in-between. That was all Geno preparing a tool for containing and killing the anomaly or so this creature after the experiment is over. So yes, everything, every single thing we have experienced from chapter 4, 5, 6 and now even this one. It was all Geno paving the path that we followed right into his trap. This man, my boy Geno, is an actual generational villain. Like, god damn. Finally, in the end of this redacted message, Geno tells Voyager beginning phase 2. Executing program and the rest of this message is still redacted. That's being exactly when Voyager, who used to manipulate the OG reality in secret, finally reveals himself to us. Because his master Geno has begun phase 2. Right from here, we already get some hints to who his master is. From the teaser of chapter 7 being the 7 logo in black and gold colors, which are the colors of Geno, to how even in OG Visitor was telling us he fondly remembers all of these locations in chapter 1, onto a red butterfly cursing Visitor's rocket before takeoff, creating a new red rift in chapter 7 on his arrival, reminding me of the first time we saw a red rift. That was chapter 4, maybe the shapeless man is also Geno too. Ooh, wow. Or Voyager telling us how the Order is the most important 7 member to him. I wonder why. Even once he captured her, rather than killing the Order to be done with it, Voyager kept her alive in a prison. Or the fact that he never shot the Voyager's rockets, destroying and killing him on arrival. Then we also had the Order saying how Visitor is
It just means that Geno is like. But what does the nothing like? There's so much like they've gone so far the other way. I don't really see what they. I don't really see why. No. Like, this is all cool, right? I get it, but I'm struggling to realize if he's doing this to protect us from the nothing, right? The nothing who's done absolutely nothing. This is why I started to see that it was probably Geno behind everything, but this is why I didn't want Geno to be behind everything, because it kind of the other way around can sort of work to get Geno back in, right? It doesn't work this way around. It honestly, the nothing is dead. The last reality is dead. Dark Voyager is just a Lone Ranger at this point. Like, it would be. I'm sure everyone else would go, oh my god, it's the nothing, it's the last reality behind everything. Well, they're not behind everything. But if they were to pop back up, because what would allow them to pop back up at this point? Well, what would be the catalyst, right? Why would Geno's being high? Why wouldn't that kill off the no. That would just, again, you're just big slap in the face, big slap in the face, big slap in the face. The story has to have beats, right? I don't see the nothing in this beats. I prefer to not see the nothing. Let's Geno take the mantle, being the main villain, for him to make his perfect reality. But then obviously we've got Chris teasing the Origin and the Chrome 7. Yeah, but why? Why would the Dark Voyager be playing Geno? So and then the last reality was behind it the whole time, and Geno's just a bit time player again. And then we get, oh, the Foundation's return. Let him do it. That would be even worse. Any way I see them going, I just see them really scuffing it. Unfortunately, I'm struggling to see them not scuffing it. Scuffing it. I always thought the Dark Voyager went rogue and left the Last Reality. Possible. But then again, he has his whole Void army as well, which sounds very... Actually, what does sound like... Again, like, how would you bring the Last Reality into the fold? Without everyone now presuming it's... Like, even if the Q King comes back, it's like, well, is that Geno? They're back to finish what they started. What did they start? They came in to rip the island to take Geno away. We've done 3 years to find Geno's just back in the fold anyway. Again, I'm not seeing the response from chat. I'm like, I can understand you like fighting against me or disagreeing with me, but I don't feel like you even getting what I'm saying here. Geno was in control of the 0 point in Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 partly. The 7 removed that. The Last Reality came in, destroyed it, and then what? Last Reality just went, oh, what? And now we're back to Geno being in control of the 0 point. We've gone nowhere. In terms of story, we've gone absolutely nowhere. It's okay, the last few months have been fun. That's not what I'm saying. But in terms of who controls the 0 point? Sorry, who controls the 0 point in Chapter 2? Geno. Who controls the 0 point in Chapter 7? Geno. Who's our heroes? The 7. We've done nothing. Can you see from where I'm just like, what? Yeah, but I don't know why I would want to see a physical body of the nothing. That's just fanfare. That's just fan service at this point. So I was just like, what have we learned? I'm not saying this is very cool, but the next step, the next phase, pardon the pun, is important. And to me, I don't want to see the nothing. I think the only way to play this is if the nothing has to be set another way. And they have to finish whatever they're doing with Geno at this point. But why? But why would the nothing chrome Geno? Geno wasn't an issue. If the Last Reality had, boom, right after the chrome and literally tried to, like, when hidden again, I suppose. I don't understand how Geno falls into the 0 point. Unless everything was planned, right? Which I guess it was. You're giving too much, like, not clarity. You're giving too much, like, plot to Geno. Dark Voyager's perfect way to get rid of Geno. What, by giving him everything that he sought? The Last Reality wants to get rid of Geno. He's in their way. But then if the Dark Voyager's working why have they allowed him to reassemble the 0 point? I'm hearing, like, in the community video this week, I'm hearing people going, oh, he's going to destabilize the 0 point once he gets the stabilizer working. Why? He's just spent the last year putting the 0 point together. I do not understand the Last Reality element. I don't see the Last Reality in this. The Last Reality, to me, are dead. They can't do anything. I'll just be like, oh, what? We're meant to think of this Last Reality element as like some sort of... But they've done nothing. They've shown no hands. We're meant to think that Dark Voyager and the Void Blade and Void Links and... But then again, that's the worry. Like, Void Links, come on, guys. Void Links. Links part of the Shadow and Ghost thing back in Chapter 2. I honestly think that nothing's dead. I honestly think the Cube King will work for Geno. I honestly think Geno is behind it all. And the last reality is just fake. Just a game. Last reality could have struck some sort of deal with. Again, I don't dispute that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't. It just makes me kind of like scratch my head. Like, why would they not just do it after the Chromin? I can understand because I guess Dr. Sloan got in it quickly to So the 0 point wasn't in one piece, and we kind of thought, okay, maybe the nothing struggling in the last reality to find these pieces. But it was Jenna the whole time. The only way I see it now is if we've been completely lied to, and the last reality are actually trying to break the simulation, and it's actually the last reality are actually the good guys. Because that's the only reason. That's the only way I see it now. Like, as stupid as it sounds, because I know it sounds stupid. The more I think about it, I'm like, actually, that makes sense. There's always Geno, and Geno's been behind everything. And are we in some sort of absolute nightmare here? And we're like, every time the last reality comes in, like Chrome, like I tried to like, did Genesis actually hit the nail on the head, and it is some sort of like dream, and we're just. Geno could have struck the deal with them that he would go into the loop and get the 0 point for them into return. Make the perfect reality for him. Yeah, but then. Oh. What's all the simulation writing? Yeah, but that could be interpreted as Geno. I'm not against it. We get the simulation right, and then we get the Dark Voyager who's working for Geno. Last reality, the nothing is what it is called. But nothing for a reason. Last reality are way more powerful. I'm not disputing that again, but I'm just like, there's nothing tangible to the last reality to work off this story at the moment. If it was a simulation, there would be no need for the 0 point to exist. No. Again, that's not. I'm not talking about that sort of simulation. Okay, to some extent, maybe if maybe I was kind of, but not like computer simulation. We're talking like I don't know. You guys are ignoring Geno's past. I mean, I'm not ignoring it. I'm just evaluating the story how it is. The TV screens, yeah, but the glitch effect's been used for Geno as recently as like the last couple trailers. Everything that represented the last reality is over. The Chapter 7 map, the Nothing's High. Yeah, but then Geno knows this island well. The last reality, the Imagined Order base in the Elites with the same sort of tunnels. As what's the map and the you know the what do you call it, classified canyon. I'm just again, what I'm saying is there's nothing tangible at the moment. What just happened to my chat there? Yeah, but we get one big reveal when it will explain everything. Nothing's always watching them, but then Geno has been watching equally the same amount of time. Chat went for a break for 2 seconds. Right. I think the Cube King might want revenge on what... Yeah, but why would the Cube King want revenge on someone he didn't care about anyway? Like, I understand the concept of corrupting the Origin, but I'm like... That's just... That's a zombie, and that's not him taking revenge. It was literally in air. He literally went to the computer and got the information about Gladys. That's where he acquired it. The Origin did. Chat, thanks for all the likes on the stream. 25 likes, by the way. Appreciate it. What the hell was... What have you got? What have you got? Oi! What have you got? Have you got one of them rare ones that were kicked out of the game after like 5 seconds? I want to see it. It's not even your sprite. You do realise that, mate. I also don't think they were a couple. I think they're kind of like, you know how they do it in Black Panther, right? When they've got multiple. So the last reality is like a, you know, you've got the Chimera, you've got the Palaxians, and you've got this. Whoever, you know, decides to take the Cube King or Cube Queen role from different families will just take it, right? And that's how I think I see the last reality. Like a water sprite to me, but it was like glitching. It was like oscillating, right? Never found them in time. You know, no, I would agree. The story of Amy not finding them in time when all her other fragments got corrupted is a little sus, no? But that would mean that Geno knows that as well, and that would be another tick to go, oh, Geno's playing the whole thing. You know, I'm not saying I like it, but it's another one where I'm like... Wow. Wow. Dr. Sloan. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm still excited about the story, right? But I'm just like... I'm just not seeing where the last reality comes into it, right? Oh, it was a 0 points, right? Didn't it was on my screen? It looked like it was just glitching out. Like it, shame I couldn't see it in game there because it just looked like it was glitching out, right? Like it looked like an NPC glitch now. That's what it looked like to me. There's literally no hype for rare sprites that can be traded. Well, that's your choice to trade them, so there's no hype for them, then fair enough. That's you don't have to trade them. Jay, Amy knows where the Chrome 7 are and what they look like. How is she not telling us unless nothing corrupts to her or even erase her memory? I mean, maybe, but... I don't get it. What, saying not everyone's gonna be hyped for rare spots, I suppose. Like if you're saying they're gonna be traded, well then you take the fun out of collecting them, don't you? That's fine. You know, people want to do Pokemon cards like that. Some people want to just trade up to them, and some people want to find them themselves, right? I could get myself a 20 grand card if I had a 20 grand sitting around. No. Or I can find that 20 grand card in some pack, but... Favorite member of the 7? Probably the scientist, right? And chapter 3 days were pretty cool. Why did she come with Geno? She didn't come with Geno. Why is this everyone still saying this? She didn't come with Geno. On the whole voice lines, which they all heard, Amy said, I didn't find you in time. Why would that be his Amy? And why would Amy be with the other visitor? I mean, I get it, because I thought it from early interactions, but once I heard that, then that just isn't the case anymore. Our Amy, not Geno's. These shotguns are so awful, mate. Is anyone forgetting the... Okay, I'm gonna have to get it up. Amy literally talked about not finding the scientists in time. I mean, that's actually the Order who actually, this is not the right one, but the Order activates Amy.
Password? Sanctuary. Access granted. Welcome to the 7 secure...
Where's the other one, though? This one?
The scientist. Status. Lost to the chrome.
Everything's my fault, so whatever happens to me, I deserve it. I'm sorry,
I'm sorry I didn't find you in time. I'm going to make you proud. The Visitor. Reality.
Right, okay. See, I don't understand. I mean, Amy, in a fragment, Amy says there's sculpture new, right? Well, no, Amy's tell us that she didn't find us the scientists in time, which actually is always something to keep an eye on, isn't it? She didn't say I didn't find you at all. I'm confused. What happened to Amy's robot body? Well, that's the point, right? Because obviously something has happened in between. We just don't know it yet, right? And Amy is acting weird. Usually, Amy isn't acting like this. She sounds cold now. Well, I mean, well, she's been through a bit, hasn't she? Yeah, I've been through a bit. Chat, thanks for 25 likes. Amy doesn't simp over scientists, that's purely a father and daughter relationship. Oh, just eliminate me. There's no way I hit him like 15 million times, but apparently, no, it's fine. Yeah, how many times got to hit him with one shotgun? Amy is probably going to end up times a Q. Why? Be after us now. I don't know why we're. I know obviously what Chris has said, but I don't know why we're focusing on the Q King without any tangible anything. I think I'm actually going to be limiting posts next week that mentions Q King. I don't have to do it. To me, it's called Collab Night now. So Fortnite has been filled with collabs since the beginning. Probably less collab orientated now in terms of story, anyway. I mean, all right, until next season, most probably, but. Chat, thanks for the 26 likes. Appreciate the support on the stream. Alright, time to lose some absolute nonsense. Nonsense. load of nonsense. It makes sense from chapter 1 to chapter 3. Alright. Thanks for the 26 likes. It's kind of just descending. I'm actually just getting rid of chat on screen. That's just descended into a bunch of nonsense at this stage. Well, it's messy when you're trying to focus on 15 things that have no tangible thing like the Cube King. You're gonna make it messy because you're mentioning something that has no correlation to where we currently situate in the story. How has he managed to do that? So here's my explanation. There's a difference between theories in the story and what is actually happening in the story. People are only finding it messy because there are too many theories. Well, no, it's what I just explained. At the moment, we've got Geno, who's trying to get this stabilizer finished, and we've got Chris mention some absolute nonsense. It has no correlation to what anything is happening. Honestly, it's fine trying to theorize the next stage of the story, but when you're trying to say that nothing, the Cube King, this, that, and the other characters who at the moment have no deeper relevance and by name, right? What's the issue if Sonic is part of the storyline? Batman, Tony Stark, Marvel, Snake Eyes. You're making the story harder because you're trying to conceptualize. This is why Cyan grew tired of the story, because he was trying to have his 5 realities nonsense. What's happening? I mean, fun to have them in the story, yeah, but when you're trying to do cartwheels to have them in, I mean, we do need a Cube King skin, but it doesn't make any sense for him to be in the story at the moment. As I said about an hour ago, I don't really know how the Cube King sits at the moment, and it's depending on how you see Geno, and we don't really know enough. Because that's how it's meant to be. Great. Oh my God, so what is happening? Feels so, like, slow. this point where it has been no Cell collab? Maybe. Did we have like a collab, right? The red rift in the sky from chapter 4 was the same rift as a couple months ago. Possibly. I mean, I would argue that the rift we see in chapter OG is a bit more red. Possibly from the same thing if it's implied that Jenna was the shapeless man as well. I'm surprised if we get murder drones. As I always say, it's not if, it's when, chat. That doesn't sound like I want any piece in that, so... Going to zone. 16 players left. Managed to master the King Sprite. Holofoil. Dream collab might be happening next season, Sonic. Yeah, it does seem likely that will be this next season. Oh no, be careful now, because we get these like confirmed themed seasons and it's completely different, right? So there is that. We might get a collab with Call of Duty soon. Where have you heard that? Doom Dark Ages. What's this? Oh, it's above. Holy inputs. This is possible since Activision wanted to collaborate with Fortnite in Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Well, we are in Chapter 7 at this point. Again, it's probably not if, it's when, right? But get me up here, please. Nine people. Hello. Oh yeah. Okay. How many times have I got to hit people, man? Again, shouldn't have sniped me in the first place. You would have been fine, wouldn't you? What? Oh my god. Right, this has been one stressful game. Oh, what? I might need a new keyboard or something. This is ridiculous. Oh my god, do you see that lag, chat? Oh, that might come in handy with a mountain. Actually, we're still up here, we're still up here. Oh, hello. What the? Oh my god, how have you done? How? Traps again. I would say it every week at this point. Pacing's bad. Not One Piece, which is still talking about. Which I think Activision, if they did a collab with Fortnite, these are the only skins we'll probably get. Well, I feel like the majority look the same, right? That's how Fortnite used to be back in. Actually, no, they don't do. They've done like Aliens recently, haven't they? But Fortnite used to be the same, right? It used to just be default skins and, you know, guys in army suits and robots. But, you know, we switched up ages ago. But Call of Duty is starting to do that, to be fair. But, you know, I want more cool skins, like, you know, Last Reality adjacent skins, not just a, you know, a human type skin like Jonesy or something. I want, you know. And Call of Duty isn't going to offer that. I mean, we could get zombies, I suppose. Which would be a little cooler if we did a zombie collab. With things like that, I'm sure everyone who says they love it go, oh my god, guys, if you watch the first 100 episodes, it would get better after the first 5 seasons or something. It's like, okay, mate. Anyway, after that game, I'm kind of done. Guys, thanks for being here. If you do buy anything in the Fortnite shop, consider using creator code mrjayowhy, mrjayowhy. Thank you to everyone who uses my support creator code. I'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm doing an early stream tomorrow. So if you want to tune in for that, if you're bored or whatever, make sure to hop in. I don't know if I'll be doing Fortnite. I think my keyboard's starting to go because I was so much dragging in that game. I was going everywhere. But anyway, guys, until next time, it has been your boy, mrjayowhy.